Hello everyone, welcome to the video tutorial series of the web development. I am your instructor Varsha Tak. Let's start our today's lecture. In last lecture we have started with the JavaScript. Okay, so here let's see. In this lecture you will learn about the JavaScript commands. Then you will learn about the JavaScript output, and we will see the difference between Java versus JavaScript. Okay, so let's see the difference. Let's see these different topics. So JavaScript comment, how to define the comment in the JavaScript. Okay, so comment is very useful when you want to provide the informations related to code. So at that time you have to define that informations into comment. So JavaScript support the single line comment. Single line comment start with the double dash. So any text between this after this double dash and the end of this line will be ignored by the JavaScript. So will not JavaScript will that will not be executed. So this example uses the single line comment before each code line. Okay, so here you can see the change heading document get element by ID my h dot inner HTML. So this is what the single line comment. Okay, so here again this is a single line comment, that is a change paragraph. So like this way you can define the single line comment in the JavaScript using the double slash. And how to define the multi-line comment, that is very similar to the style sheet also, and we have defined it in the C also. So for the multi-line comment, start with the slash star and end with the star slash. So the whatever the you have written in between this, that will be ignored by the JavaScript. So any text in between this will be ignored by the JavaScript. This example use the multi-line comment. Here you can see the comment box. So this is the multi-line comment. So this will be ignored by the JavaScript. So like this way you can define the JavaScript comment. Now let's see the JavaScript output. Okay, so JavaScript output, that means JavaScript display possibilities. At how many ways you can display this JavaScript? Okay, so JavaScript can display the data in the different ways. Writing into the HTML element using the inner HTML. So that's why also you can display the output. Writing into the HTML output using the document.write. So you can write the document.write method to display the output. Then writing into an alert box, you can define the alert box also. So using that window.alert, so window is the object and it has the method that is alert. Using that also you can display the output. Then writing into the browser console using the console.log. Okay, so that you think you can define this output in the console also. So these are the different ways to defining the output. Now let's see the first one, that is using inner HTML. So to access an HTML element, JavaScript can use the document.getElementById method. So for that, you have to use this. This is the one of the DOM method that we will see in the DOM also. That is the document object also. Document object model. Here we are learning about the using the inner HTML. Using this, you can display the output. So document.getElementById method. Let's see. The ID attribute defines the HTML element. The inner HTML property defines the HTML content. Now here you can see this is a simple HTML document. Now here you can see this is the define the heading, that is a JavaScript, and here the p addition of the 10 and 10. Now here I have defined the p id is equal to demo, that you have to define first, and after that you have to define the script. Why? Because we are using this demo id in this our JavaScript, that's why. Okay, so document dot get element by id, so it will find the element by id, so that is id is demo, that is written over here and written over here. Remember that will be the same, that is the same letter is there, no any change is there. Dot inner HTML, so equal to 10 plus 10. So inner HTML, that means in between this output will be displayed. Okay, so now let's see the output of this in the practical. So you will have the better idea about this. Okay, so now here you can see I have defined the basic HTML document in which I have defined the JavaScript, in which I have defined the two P element, that is the PID demo and PID demo 1. Okay, so here you can see I have used here the document.get element by ID demo dot inner HTML is equal to 10 plus 10. So that means the output of this, the value of this, that is the 20, that will be displayed in between this, because we have specified the ID as a demo. This is the document object model, document object method. Okay, so document dot get element by ID. So it will find out the element by ID that is defined over here, and it will check in the document where this ID is written. Okay, so it will place this output in between that tag. Now next over here you can see I have used the variable. Okay, so in last lecture we have defined how to define this JavaScript variable. So using the where keyword you can define the JavaScript this variable. Here where x is equal to 5, where y is equal to 6, we have created two variable and third variable that will store the addition of this two. And in which again we have defined the document.get element by id demo1 dot inner HTML, and demo1 is specified over here. Now here is called the output is the value of the Z is plus Z. So the value of the Z, that will be the 11. So that will be displayed. Let's see the output of this variable. Just a second. Okay, so here you can see the output is 20 and here the value of Z is 11 according to this. Okay, so here the document.get element by id, that will be directly displayed 20 because we don't have written any text over here. We have just written the 10 plus 10. So 20 will be displayed in the p tag, and the output of the Z is 11, that will be displayed in this p tag. So here you can see over here in this output the value of Z is 11. Okay, so this is the one of the method to displaying the output. Now suppose, see why we have defined this ID first and then we have defined the script. Now suppose you have not defined this P element first, and suppose you have defined the script first. So what will happen? Let's see over here. Suppose I am defining it first and after that P element is there. So this ID will not be get by the script. Okay, so it will search its above document, but there is no, it will not able to find out the ID. So no output will be there. So let's see the this thing. Here you can see there is a no output like this. There is a 20 and the value of Z is 11. Why? Because it is not able to find out the ID. That's why. Got it? Now let's see the next method using the document.write. So for the testing purpose, it is convenient to use the document.write. Here you can see whenever you want to display anything on the Windows screen. So at that time you can write this document.write method, in which whatever the information you have written, that will be displayed. Here we have written the arithmetic expression, that is 10 plus 10. So it will evaluate it and it will display the output as a 20. So let's see over here. So here you can see when we will execute this spectacle, it will define this value, that will be the 20. Now next one is the using window.alert. Okay, so you can use an alert box to display the data. Here you can see we have used the window.alert 10 plus 10. So whenever we are going to execute the spectacle, it will evaluate this expression and it will give the output as a 20 in the alert box. This is one of the prompt box that we will see later on in detail, which are the different prompt boxes that is supported by the JavaScript. Now let's see these two different methods of defining the output, that is the window.alert and the document.write in the practical. So here you can see this is the window.alert, that is the 10 minus 2 is that. Okay, so here then this is what the document.write, this is for text. Okay, so document.write, this is for text that will be displayed, then window.alert 10 minus 2. So it will display the value 8. So let's see the output of this first. Just a second, we have done the changes. So we have to specify it after this. Okay, so just save it and just execute this. Okay, so here the first alert box will come always. Okay, so whenever you will click on the OK, rest of the output will be displayed. See here. This is for test, so that is using the document.write. Okay, and this is our last two methods output. Got it? So like this way you can define the window.alert, and if you want to display your content also, you can write, you can concate the string that the arithmetic, this output of this arithmetic expression is then plus 10 minus 2. So like this way also it will be displayed in this window.alert. Okay, let's see over here. Suppose I am concatenating the some string over here. So this is subtraction of 10 and 2. Okay, so now we are concatenating this thing. Here for the concatenating purpose, we are using the plus sign. So here what you have to do, you have to write this curly brace, or sorry, rounded parenthesis, and just execute this. Otherwise it will give the output as a not a number. See here, the subtraction of 1 and 2 is 8. We have not defined the space over here. So that's why it is giving like this. So see over here. See, subtraction of, sorry, it is 10. 10 and 2 is equal to 8. Okay, and if you will base, okay, the rest of the output will be there. Now suppose I am not doing the parenthesis over here, what will happen? Let's see, it will give the output as a not a number, because it will confuse which arithmetic expressions will be used. See, not a number. Why? Because it will try to do the addition of this string and this 10. So that's why it is giving the output as a not a number. So whenever you are doing this thing, it is better that you provide the parenthesis. Got it? Okay, here you can skip the window keyword also, because this window is a global object. You can write directly alert also. In the JavaScript, the window object is the global scope object. That means that variable properties and methods that by default belong to the window object, that you can use directly. Okay, so for that you don't have to specify the window keyword, so it is optional. Now next one is the using console.log. So for the debugging purpose, you can use the console.log method to display the data. Here you can see I have written the console.log 10 plus 10. So you have to see the output, you have to check in the console. Okay, so let's see this, how to define this console.log and how to define this output. Okay, now here you can see I have defined this console.log 5 into 5. Just uncomment this. Now just comment this window alert, so it will not specifying any prompt boxes. Now just you will see the output of this get element by id 5 into 5, and then you will get the output of this document.write. Now let's see the output of this. Here you can see the output is not visible over here, that is 5 into 5 25. How to see that output? We have to see in the console. For that you have to click on this three dot that is given on your browser, and from that you have to select the more tools, and from the more tools you have to select the developer tools. Right now it is not visible to you, but whenever you are going to select this more tools, from that you have to select the developer tools. Just a second, it will come. So see here, it is opening this developer tools, and from that you have to select this console. By default, suppose this element is there, so you have to select this console, and in this console you can see this output as a 25. Got it? So you have to see the output in this console. So this console output is mainly used for the debugging purpose. Got it? Now using variable, that we have already seen this output using the variable. Okay, so JavaScript in which you can define the variable x is equal to 6, y is equal to 10 and z is equal to x into y. And then we have defined the document.getElement by id demo.inner.html and in which you have displayed this thing. Otherwise, you can write directly, that is document.write z. So it will display the output directly. Okay, so it will display this value, that is 60. Now let's see the difference between Java and JavaScript. Okay, so Java is an object-oriented programming language, whereas JavaScript is an object-based programming language. Okay, this is object-oriented and this is object-based. Based on object, this JavaScript is work. Java creates applications that can run in the virtual machine or browser, and JavaScript code run on browser only. Okay, so this is the client side scripting. That's why it runs in browser only. Here it can run on the virtual machine or it can run on the browser. Java code is a compiled code. JavaScript is a interpreted. Okay, Java code allows the programmer full functionality and needs to be compiled, and JavaScript code contains the limited number of commands and the features. The first name of the Java was OAK, and it was developed by the James Gosling Sun Microsystems. Then JavaScript was the earlier known as ECMA script, and it was developed by the Braden Each and Netscape. Got it? Java is a high-level static, compiled and strongly typed language, whereas JavaScript is a text-based, dynamic and weakly typed language. Okay, so this is the difference between Java and JavaScript. Java, that is the proper object-oriented programming language, whereas the JavaScript is based on the object. Okay, there are numbers of objects are there in the JavaScript. Whatever the methods, whatever the functions are we are using, that is defined from the object. Okay, in Java there is a different types like integer, float, string, etc. And you have to specify the data type with the variable while declaring the Java. Whereas in the JavaScript there is a where keyword that is used to define the variable. According to the value, it takes the data type of that variable automatically. We don't have to specify the data type. It will take the data type automatically. Whereas in the JavaScript, you have to define the data type. Java program has a file extension that is .java, and the after compilation it becomes the .class file that contains the bytecodes which is executed by the Java virtual machine. And JavaScript file has the extension .js and it is compiled by executed by the browser. Object of the Java are class based and object of the JavaScript are the prototype based. Java has a block based scope and JavaScript has a function based scope and the object based content. Okay, so this is the difference between Java and JavaScript. So in this video, we have learned about the JavaScript commands, then JavaScript output, and then we have learned about the Java versus JavaScript. Okay, so this is all about this lecture, remaining interesting topic. So in this video, we have learned about the JavaScript commands. So JavaScript commands that you can define the single line comment and the multi-line comment. Single line comment, just you can use the double dash, double slash, and for the multi-line comment, you can use the slash and star and slash. Okay, so whatever the content written in between that will be ignored by the browser. Then we have learned about the JavaScript output. We can use the different types to display the JavaScript output. You can use the prompt box, that is the alert box. You can use the variables to display. You can use the DOM methods also to display the output, or you can display the output in the console. So whenever you want to do the debugging, so at that time the output will be displayed in the console. And then we have learned the difference between Java and JavaScript. Okay, so Java is a proper object-oriented programming language, whereas JavaScript is based on the object. So whatever the content, that is whatever the method we are using, that is the part of one of the object that is defined in the JavaScript. Okay, so this is all about this lecture. Remaining interesting topic we will cover in the next lecture. Thank you for watching. We will meet in the next lecture. Thank you.